It's just about 25 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock on this Tuesday on The Rocks, as we usually say here on the Now Morning Show. Now, in order to prepare for the rainy season, the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government launched a We Clean TT campaign where citizens are encouraged to put out their garbage and bulk waste for disposal. The campaign kicked off in Diego Martin and it is heading to Belmont in a few days. So here to tell us more about the campaign in their Burgesses are councillors Nicole Young, who represents Belmont East, and Abba Kamau from Belmont South. Good morning, ladies, and thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Thank you so much for having us.
Now, Ms. Kamau, I'm going to start with you first. The Minister Faris Al-Rawi, he kicked it off in Diego Martin.
He did.
It's coming to Belmont. When is it coming to Belmont?
Well, let me just make that quick correction. It's coming to the city of Port of Spain.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So we are here in our capacity, certainly as representatives of our respective districts, but in a wider sense, representing the city of Port of Spain, Port of Spain City Corporation.
And when can the constituents put out their waste and stuff?
Well, we are asking them not to interrupt the regular garbage collection service, which within the city, residents would know what their respective dates are. So we will have, for example, East Port of Spain, their garbage collection is Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So tomorrow we'll have a regular garbage collection as well as Friday. The We Clean TT campaign, they kick off this weekend. So that would be Saturday and Sunday of this week, so 30th and the 1st of May respectively.
Nice. And what sort of items are constituents encouraged to get rid of?
Well, we are hoping to pick up all of the major bulk waste, that would be the white waste, things that you don't normally have picked up with your regular garbage collection. So we'd be looking at things such as maybe a stove, a fridge, furniture items that you may have. We're asking you to put those things out. We're also partnering with CPEP to address some of the vacant lots that have been deemed vacant lots. We're also looking at derelict vehicles, and we're also looking at tree cuttings.
Nice. Now, Ms. Young, I mean, sometimes you're, as she mentioned, you're driving through some constituencies sometimes and you see the derelict vehicles. It really is an eyesore. I mean, what kind of importance do you think this campaign is really for the area of Belmont?
Well, definitely. It's important that we remove those sorts of derelict vehicles because, one, it's a hazard, a health hazard, especially in this rainy season, mosquitoes, etc. And also generally for the beautification of the area. We want Belmont to be a beautiful community just like anywhere else. So that's important to remove the junk, the old vehicles, as the ad says, the old bush. So we just want the place to look really beautiful.
Yes. Now, how can the constituents notify their councillors? I mean, Ms. Young, you, or even you, Ms. Kamau, about, where these things are located and how people can get it?
Well, there's a combination. Certainly, they can reach out to their respective councillors, but of course, as representatives, we're always on the ground. So we are very familiar with some of the spaces where, particularly like the vacant lots, stuff like that. In my capacity as chairman of public health within the corporation, we tend to get those complaints about the derelict vehicles, as Nicole would have alluded to, and stuff like that. So we would have been on the ground collecting this data and collating it already, some of which would have already been on a list of items that would have needed to be addressed. So this is an opportunity with the extra resources that we are being given through the ministry and as well as the help of other regional corporations to really address it in a more comprehensive way and get it done.
Now, Ms. Young, would you say there is a problem of waste disposal in your area? In your district?
Okay, so definitely waste collection is not an issue because we are very on schedule. The corporation is very on schedule. I would say, however, honestly, there is an issue of dumping, illegal dumping. So you may pass through the Port of Spain in general, even Trinidad in general, actually. I think it's a cultural issue. You pass through the streets and you would see garbage dumps on the corner and persons would know that, okay, we collect on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but you would bring out the garbage on a Tuesday. So we know that's a cultural shift that we need to happen, but generally I know that the corporation does its part in terms of regular schedule collection days.
Yes. Now, Ms. Kamau, you were talking about the data, and I know that Minister Al-Rawi said that he was planning to commence a data-driven action so that he can kind of feel exactly which roads need repairs and stuff like that. I mean, has that started in your district already?
Well, certainly within the corporation, our very able-bodied engineering department. They are entrusted with this task. I know that our goodly minister would have alluded to the fact that the corporations are entrusted with 80% of the nation's roads, because 80% of our roads fall within local municipalities. So certainly it gives us the opportunity to really get a greater appreciation of the areas where there is a higher concentration. I work in a data-driven field as well, so I'm really happy and excited about this trust that he's taking in terms of getting the data, knowing what is really needed, and where the resources, as scarce as they may be, can be deployed in a more impactful way.
Now, Ms. Young, would you say that there are certain times of the year maybe where you see more waste in the area?
I mean, seasonal, definitely Christmas time, maybe Easter, certain seasons where a lot of people gather. You know, so there'll be a lot of cooking, etc. People will be moving, they're doing their spring cleaning, Christmas cleaning. So I think now is actually a perfect time, right after the Easter vacation, where we can pick up all the extra, not regular domestic waste, but, you know, if you have, as Abba said, an old stove, an old bed, old bush, things like that. So it's definitely seasonal.
Now, I know SwimCall, they have partnered with IKTT to put recycling bins in certain areas. Has the constituency thought about this, and when maybe we can see something for the constituents? And anyone, Ms. Kamau or Ms. Young, or whatever,
yeah, actually, the city is partnering, and SwimCall remains a major stakeholder within the city of Port of Spain, and we are, as a council, actually, we have already approved a policy by where we are looking at recycling in a major way. Because you would have touched on it, the fact that waste management is not just a corporation thing in terms of collection, but it's a behavioral thing in terms of how we modify our behavior and treat with our own waste management practices within our respective communities, within our respective homes.
Now, as we are looking forward to the rainy season, and of course, this is one of the importance of the campaign to get rid of that waste. Do we see, you know, problems of flooding in Belmont?
I think,
to some extent,
I believe at a point in time there was a bit of flooding. It has vastly reduced though, because the Eastern Division under the Port of Spain Corporation, the workers have been very dedicated in cleaning the drains and trying to remove any silt and any garbage collection. Of course, the sad reality is when they go in and they clean these drains, you see a lot of garbage, a lot of plastic bottles. That's why the recycling is so important, right? But I know that they have been monitoring it. They're always on top of it generally in terms of cleaning the drains. Of course, we know there are many factors to flooding, but definitely keeping the drains is very important. And I believe we have been on top of that at the Port of Spain Corporation.
You wanted to add something, Ms. Kamau?
No, definitely. We are strategically looking at our major water courses. So that will be things like, of course, within the city of Port of Spain, we're looking at the St. Anne's River. We are looking at the Marval River. We are looking at the East Dry River. So those are major water courses that we are hoping, along with the resources that we are being provided with through this partnership with the ministry, that we can really address some of these water courses, as we are already en route towards managing the water courses in anticipation of our impending rainy season.
Ms. Kamau, I mean, final thoughts before we close, maybe just a reminder to some of your constituents about who they can text if they have these, you know, bulk waste that they need to get rid of over this weekend.
Well, definitely we are asking them to not just yet, ready, set, and we'll have go on Saturday. So from Saturday morning at 7 a.m., that is when we are going to have the various trucks and the different equipment going out into each respective electoral district. So we are asking them, you know, probably from about 6 o'clock they can start putting out stuff, because the collection begins at 7 and it ends at 4 p.m. on both days. So that's Saturday and Sunday. there are numbers to call as well, because there may be some areas or some items that may have been missed, and the Rural Development and Local Government Ministry would have been gracious enough to provide 2 WhatsApp numbers that they're allowing residents to snap the pictures and send it to, as well as pin the GPS location of those respective items, so that we can come to them and not miss anything. So we really want the residents to take advantage of this opportunity to get rid of the waste, to get rid of, clean scene totally in the city of Port of Spain.
And Ms. Young, as Ms. Kamal mentioned the numbers, can you share the numbers for us?
Certainly. 707-9122 and 707-9130. Dedicated WhatsApp numbers. I think it's excellent, actually. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. How excited are you about cleaning? Very excited.
Very excited, because I saw your Facebook page and actually saw you on the ground taking those pictures already, just to alert the corporation of where. And one more thing, Ms. Young, what exactly can they put out? I know Ms. Kamal mentioned the old stove. What other items can they put out?
Tires, tree cuttings, definitely alert the authorities of the derelict vehicles, old beds, literally anything that is bulky and you need it, because we don't want it after this time to just be on the roadside, as sometimes we see. So now take this opportunity to get rid of that unwanted garbage in your home.
Great. Ms. Young, Ms. Kamal, thank you so much for coming on the Now Morning Show and just telling us, this amazing waste collection drive that you have going on in your constituency this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us
very much.
And you're on the Now Morning Show. That's going to be it for me until tomorrow, of course, when it's going to be Hump Day. But stick around, because Rockers will have more. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to be right back.